Please remain standing while we sing, while we play the national anthem of Samoa. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, it is now my distinct honor to begin the first part of the ceremony with statements from our main dignitaries. And I would like to now invite the Prime Minister of Samoa, the Honorable Filomena Mata-Aka, for her opening remarks.
Reverend Aitusi Mafuaina, Your Excellency, Mr. Latin General Regus, Secretary of State, for the International Cooperation of the Kingdom of Spain, Presidency and Office of the Council of the European Union, the Honorable Benito dos Santos Freitas, Minister of Foreign Affairs and Cooperation of the Democratic Republic of Timor-Leste, and Chair of the ACP Council of Ministers. Professor the Honorable Robert Tusu, Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Congolese Republic, Your Excellency, Mr. Leinen, EU Commissioner for International Partnerships, Your Excellency, Mr. George Roberto Kikoti, OACPA Secretary General and ACP Co-Secretary of the ACP EU Council of Ministers, Mr. Austin Spora, EU Co-Secretary of the ACP EU Council of Ministers, members of the Judiciary, Honorable Ministers, distinguished guests. Oleo Taluku Talu na Aye Tatu Pamuhoi, sa Palau, Maboko. Ole Pamuhoi Kotamu, Ole Aau Soikoya. I believe that all of us here today for the Samoa Agreement signing ceremony are saying, Haina. We have now reached the final destination for the negotiations that was launched in 2018 for a renewed partnership agreement to replace the Cotonou Agreement. Many have dedicated time, energy, and resources to produce the Samoa Agreement text that has brought us all to Samoa this week. I wish to acknowledge in this regard the hard work and dedication of all the lead negotiators that have worked tirelessly to secure a consensus of 106 countries on the Samoa Agreement text. We pay tribute to lead negotiators for the ACP and EU sides, Professor the Honorable Robert Tusu, Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Congolese Republic, and Her Excellency Mr. Jutta Urpilainen, the EU Commissioner for International Partnerships. I am particularly pleased that both of you are here today to sign. I also wish to acknowledge all the supporting negotiators and lead negotiators for the regional protocols from both ACP and EU sides, as well as our ACP Secretariat. Some of them are here today. Can you please put your hands together as a show of our appreciation and gratitude for the work? As we know, the ACP Council of Ministers endorsed Samoa as the venue for the signing event in 2019. We have waited 4 years to host you in our island home. Samoa is grateful that you have chosen our Blue Pacific region as the venue of this historic event. This is important for us. Inviting all of you to Samoa allows you also to experience and appreciate our lived realities and challenges, but also to share with you a bit of our culture and approach to life. As the ACP-EU, we are a diverse and large group of nations from all corners of the world, and we have agreed that there is value in our ACP-EU relations. Understanding each other is key to the success of any partnership. We are pleased that you have all traveled to the furthest of our ACP-EU family to renew our legal framework for our continued and strengthened collaboration on key strategic priorities. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, the world is constantly changing, and our respective countries, which are already vulnerable, have been harshly subjected to the multiple global crises that are multidimensional and complex in their scope and nature. We are faced with a plethora of challenges that often require collective solutions. We are weathering unprecedented times that calls for unity, solidarity, and the need for strengthened multilateralism. The Samoa Agreement aims for a collective and united approach to some of these exact challenges we are facing, from climate change to peace and security. It prioritizes human rights, democracy and good governance, including gender equality and the rule of law. Social development and sustainable economic growth are and continue to be priorities, thus making the effective implementation of the Samoa Agreement key to ongoing efforts in building resilient environment and economies. Your Excellencies, the Samoa Agreement may just be a text to some, but we must not forget the human faces behind such agreements. If you look at the banners displayed in this hall, you will see the faces of the children, the communities in our villages, and the people of Samoa that have benefited from the EU water sector projects. These are made possible because of the existing partnership framework. Thank you, OACPS. Thank you, EU. While for varying reasons, some of our ACP EU family could not join us today or are not ready to sign, the Samoa Agreement is about our family. My dear colleagues, I hope your brief sojourn in our islands has been as rewarding for you as it has been for us, and that you will leave here with a sense of what it feels like to live in a small Pacific country. I hope too that you have had a chance to see how we celebrate our culture, to fully appreciate how interwoven our lives, economies, as societies are with our environment. But fundamentally, we are all part of a global family, and our destinies are very much linked with yours. We welcome you as our guests. You leave us as family. I count on you all to be champions of the Samoa Agreement. Thank you.
Thank you, Prime Minister. Please welcome to the podium the Secretary of State for International Cooperation of the Kingdom of Spain, Presidency in Office of the Council of the European Union, Her Excellency Ms. Ida Cancela Rodriguez, for her statement.
Thank you very much. I will speak in Spanish. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, it is a pleasure for me to be here. Hoy me dirijo a ustedes en representación del Consejo de la Unión Europea. Por eso, mi discurso tiene que entenderse en clave de la Unión Europea, siendo nosotros, cuando me dirija y utilice esta expresión, nosotros, la Unión Europea y sus Estados miembros. Es una reunión de celebración, es una reunión de fiesta. Esta firma en Gambia anuncia un nuevo amanecer. Agradezco de nuevo a Samoa su cálida hospitalidad, tan característica del Pacífico. Me inspiro en el proverbio samoano Tautuane Mose Kaeao Manutu, servir ahora para un mañana mejor. Las acciones y las decisiones de hoy determinarán nuestro destino común. Hemos heredado nuestro planeta, su tierra, el mar, el cielo. Nuestra tarea es dejarlos en mejores condiciones para las generaciones futuras. Muchas culturas creen que no somos dueños de la tierra. Simplemente la estamos tomando prestada para nuestros hijos, para nuestras hijas, de las generaciones que vienen, y tenemos el deber de preservarla para ese mañana mejor. Con esto en mente, nuestro acuerdo nos aporta una visión conjunta para las próximas décadas, más allá. Proporciona un enfoque moderno para nuestra relación, alineado con las necesidades y los desafíos de nuestro tiempo y del futuro. La asociación entre la Organización de Estados de África, el Caribe y el Pacífico y la Unión Europea y sus Estados miembros, y más importante aún, entre nuestros pueblos, puede ayudarnos a dar forma a un futuro mejor, en aras de la prosperidad, un planeta y una paz compartidos. Prosperidad porque nuestro acuerdo es un signo de asociación igualitaria en la que invertimos conjuntamente. Es por eso que trabajamos con socios de África, del Caribe, del Pacífico, en los paquetes del Global Gateway. Con un valor de 300.000 millones de euros, estamos movilizando y construyendo infraestructuras digitales de transporte y de energía limpia. Estamos invirtiendo en personas sanas y formadas, la mejor infraestructura de cualquier sociedad. La Unión Europea y sus Estados miembros, a través de la estrategia del Global Gateway, tratan de brindar oportunidades a los socios, mejores oportunidades, con inversiones justas, transparentes, sostenibles. Ayudaremos al comercio local, crearemos empleo, atraeremos inversiones, también inversiones del sector privado. Queremos que esta estrategia vaya siempre acompañada de una perspectiva social, que es lo que define a Europa. Es muy satisfactorio que las promesas se estén convirtiendo en acciones, en hechos, y ya hemos comprometido 66.000 millones de euros en proyectos transformadores, solo con presupuesto de la Unión Europea. Las inversiones fluirán desde los Estados miembros y de la financiación privada. Tenemos casi 90 proyectos emblemáticos con las regiones de África, el Caribe y el Pacífico. En África, en materia de salud, nos asociamos con Ghana, con Ruanda, Senegal y Sudáfrica para conseguir dotar al continente africano de la capacidad para fabricar vacunas. Implementaremos acuerdos sobre materias primas críticas con la República Democrática del Congo y Zambia. Juntos estamos construyendo el corredor transafricano, conectando el sur de la República Democrática del Congo y el norte de Zambia a los mercados globales a través del puerto de Lobito, en Angola. También estamos construyendo corredores económicos en el sur de África, conectando el Atlántico y el Índico. En el Caribe, el transporte marítimo es una cuestión clave para la conectividad y para la movilidad de bienes y servicios. La Unión Europea apoyará este sector para impulsar el desarrollo económico de las pequeñas islas de la región, aprovechando la iniciativa del Global Gateway para atraer capital privado y garantizar una inversión sostenible que redunde en beneficio de las personas, siempre en beneficio de las personas. Del mismo modo, apoyaremos a nuestros socios caribeños para transformar el sargazo de un problema a una oportunidad económica. En el Pacífico colaboramos con 18 países y territorios en una iniciativa regional insignia del Global Gateway que promueve la resiliencia climática, la biodiversidad y el desarrollo económico sostenible. Estamos desarrollando corredores económicos y comercio agrícola en Papúa, Nueva Guinea, y construyendo centrales hidroeléctricas en Fiyi para contribuir al desarrollo sostenible. En segundo lugar, decía que es un hogar común, nuestro planeta. El mayor desafío global que enfrentamos es el cambio climático. Nos reuniremos con el resto del mundo en Dubái, en la COP28. Quisiera aprovechar para abordar rápidamente tres cuestiones. Debemos mantener el objetivo de limitar el cambio climático a 1,5 grados centígrados. Lanzaremos un compromiso específico para triplicar la capacidad de energía renovable y duplicar las mejoras en eficiencia energética para 2030. Esperamos ver a muchos de ustedes sumándose a este compromiso. En segundo lugar, las necesidades de financiación climática ascienden a billones. Estamos comprometidos con cumplir con nuestra parte para alcanzar el objetivo de los 100.000 millones de dólares y duplicar la financiación para la adaptación climática. La financiación pública es importante, pero nunca será suficiente. Necesitamos permitir que los inversores privados inviertan en la transición energética a nivel mundial. Tercero, hay 3.300 millones de personas que viven en países que gastan más dinero en el pago de intereses que en educación y sanidad. Necesitamos más y mejor financiación para volver a retomar el rumbo de los objetivos de desarrollo sostenible. Estamos deseando trabajar con los socios de África, el Caribe y el Pacífico en la cumbre del futuro para lograr un ambicioso pacto para el futuro. Prosperidad, planeta y, en tercer lugar, la paz. Si la prosperidad disminuye y el planeta no encuentra su equilibrio, la paz nos evitará. Y sin paz, las sociedades no pueden prosperar ni centrarse en la acción por el clima. En África, la Unión Europea se ha comprometido a ser la principal defensora de las soluciones africanas a los problemas africanos. Trabajamos juntos en prioridades que van desde la operatividad de las arquitecturas africanas de paz, seguridad y gobernanza, a la prevención de conflictos, alerta temprana y mediación para la paz, hasta la respuesta a la crisis y consolidación de la paz. Estamos reforzando nuestra lucha común contra el terrorismo, el tráfico de seres humanos y la inseguridad marítima. Este es un momento difícil para la acción global conjunta y para el enfoque multilateral. Este acuerdo demuestra que grupos muy amplios, países diversos, pueden ponerse de acuerdo sobre medidas concretas para profundizar su asociación, para construir un futuro común. Esto nos da esperanza a la Unión Europea, en cuyo nombre me dirijo a ustedes. Tenemos que dialogar más, tenemos que hablar más. Nuestros diálogos de asociación nos permitirán trabajar a escala nacional, regional e internacional en todos los aspectos que contempla el Acuerdo de Samoa. Nuestros puntos de vista compartidos nos permitirán llevar nuestra visión a otros socios internacionales y crear impulso para las causas que nos importan. Pueden ustedes contar con la Unión Europea y sus Estados miembros, no solo de palabra, sino con hechos. Estamos comprometidos con implementar este acuerdo. Queremos ser el socio que elijan ustedes. Me gustaría terminar con las palabras de un escritor español universal, Miguel de Cervantes, que dijo que ningún límite existe salvo el cielo. Que estas palabras nos inspiren y nos motiven y nos guíen mientras celebramos la firma del acuerdo, de este gran acuerdo de Samoa. Con el viento en nuestras velas, guiados por la brújula de nuestros valores e intereses compartidos, podemos fijar juntos el rumbo para avanzar hacia una prosperidad compartida, un planeta sano y una paz duradera. La paz, y en estos tiempos, mucha más paz. Muchísimas gracias.
Thank you, Your Excellency. And I now invite European Commissioner for International Partnerships, Her Excellency, Mr. Shuta Urunagi.
Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, dear friends and colleagues. I would like to thank the Prime Minister of Samoa for hosting us this historic day. Today we embark on a new era of strategic partnership between the European Union and the Organization of African, Caribbean, and Pacific States. We find ourselves in an unstable world where natural disasters, conflicts, pandemics, and economic crises have become the norm. At this moment, the EU-OSCE partnership stands as a beacon of hope. Our partnership is among the oldest in the history of the European Union, spanning more than 60 years. Today, it unites 106 countries across 4 continents and connects more than 1.5 billion people. And together, we account for more than half of the seats at the United Nations. We share a common commitment to a fair, cleaner, and more sustainable future. Today, the Samoa Agreement updates our partnership to reflect current geopolitical challenges and opportunities. It positions us for mutual success and strengthens our voice in multilateral fora, ensuring our collective impact is felt on a global scale. Let's briefly reflect on our journey so far. human rights, democracy, and good governance. It places new emphasis on gender equity, inclusivity, and pluralism. And it strengthens our ability to respond to global challenges like climate change. Additionally, 3 new regional protocols will enable us to respond more effectively to realities on the ground. And a new stakeholders engagement mechanism has been created to strengthen the voice of civil society in decision making. Dear friends, the journey towards today's signing has not been easy, involving lengthy and complex negotiations. So let me take this opportunity to thank the many people who worked tirelessly to achieve it. In particular, my friend, Minister Doucet, the chief negotiator for the OSCE. But dear friends, we are not stopping here. Our challenge now is to quickly implement this agreement and delivering for the good of our people. Let's do everything we can to harness the collective power of our four regions. The EU and its member states, as Team Europe, have launched ambitious investment packages under the Global Gateway strategy across all 3 regions. We push forward to implement these packages. Let's make the Samoa Agreement the shining example of unity, progress, and shared prosperity.
Thank you, Commissioner Fernandez. Please now welcome to the podium the Minister of Foreign Affairs and Cooperation, the Democratic Republic of Timor-Leste, Honorable Minister Dos Santos Freitas, to deliver his remarks.
Today marks a significant milestone in our collective journey toward the future, defined by collaboration, understanding, and joint development. Our commitment to strengthen the bonds between the members of the OSCE and the European Union and its member states is unwavering, rooted in a shared vision of a world where inclusivity, sustainability, and equitable progress are the cornerstones of our partnership. The spirit of mutual respect and understanding, we stand united to sign the Samoa Agreement, now known as Samoa Agreement, that will serve as the foundation for a strategic alliance. This agreement, forged through extensive dialogue and collaboration, reflects our joint commitment to addressing global challenges, promoting economic growth, fostering sustainable development, and enhancing people-to-people exchanges. As we embark on this transformative journey, we acknowledge the responsibilities that come with our shared objectives. The members of the ACPS and the European Union and its member states, recognizing the evolving dynamics of the global landscape, affirm our dedication to upholding the principles of democracy, human rights, and social justice. Our partnership is not merely a contractual agreement, but a testament to the belief that by working hand in hand, we can overcome the complexities of our time and create a world that benefits all our citizens. The members of OACPS eagerly anticipate the implementation of these agreements, confident that they will pave the way for a future where prosperity knows no borders. In conclusion, I extend my sincere gratitude to all parties involved for their commitments to this collaborative journey. May our partnership with the European Union and its member states flourish, bringing about positive change and contributing to the well-being of our diverse community. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to invite the OACPS Chief Negotiator for the Samoa Union, the Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Togolese Republic, Professor Honorable Robert Lucy.
Thank you, MC. Madam Prime Minister of the State of Samoa, Mr. Chairman of the Council of the Minister of OACPS, the President of the Council of the Minister of the European Union, Madam European Commissioner for International Migration, dear Utah, Mr. Secretary of the OACPS, Honorable Minister, Co-President of the OECD, as EU Joint Parliamentary Assembly, dear Ambassador, and Head of Delegations. We were here in Apia, in Samoa, in February 2019, as part of the OACPS EU political consultation on the regional protocols to the new agreement under preparation. 4.5 years later, here we are again in Samoa, and welcome with the same great sense of hospitality. I would like to thank the Prime Minister here, the authorities of this country for the warm welcome and the arrangements made to facilitate our stay in Samoa, an island of hospitality. Ladies and gentlemen, dear colleagues, I would be remiss if I failed to mention and express my deep gratitude to the leaders of the other member countries of our Central Negotiating Group, whose support was always forthcoming during the negotiation. I wish to express my thanks to the former Secretary General of OECDs, Dr. Patrick Ross, and of course our friend, the current Secretary General of the OECDs, who provided us with constant support throughout the process, as well as the former Commissioner of the European Union, Mr. Niven Mika, and of course our friend, the Commissioner for International Partnership, Madame Rita, here, with whom we had made the way to the negotiation together. Dear colleagues, the ceremony that brings us together today is memorable in more than one way. After the signing of the agreement on April 15, 2021, this signing ceremony of the Samoa Agreement solemnly seals the commitment of the member states of the Organization of African, Caribbean, and Pacific States and the European Union to cooperate within the framework of a new, modern, and strengthened former imperialism area of common interest. The remarkable enthusiasm of the parties for the signing of this agreement has considerably testified to the high symbolic value of this ceremony, which closes a laborious but fruitful journey of 2 years of intense negotiation. Launched, as you know, on September 28, 2018, in New York, these negotiations should make it possible to represent together our partnership, strong on its long years of solidarity, to propose in view of the new challenges and the deep aspiration of our sovereign peoples, particularly the model reflecting the strategic unity of our population. Once again, for us, Samoa Agreement is signed. The member states of the EU and the OECDs share the responsibility to work towards in implementation so that it fully produces its effects in accordance with our legitimate expectation. To conclude, we extend our thanks to all those who in the past, today, and in the future, driven by the desire to promote a fair, balanced, and mutual beneficial partnership are acting and will act so that the Samoa Agreement can meet the expectation of the government and population of the OECDs and member states. Long live the OECDs EU partnership. Long live the Samoa Agreement. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Mr. Ducey. Our last speaker for this opening statement is the OECD's Secretary General, His Excellency Mr. George Rebelo Chigozi.
Your Excellency, the Honorable Prime Minister of the United States of Samoa, Suliani Noani Matha. Your Excellency, President of the EU Council of Ministers, Your Excellency, the President of the OECD Council of Ministers, Your Excellency, the EU Commissioner for International Partnership, Your Excellencies, Honorable Ministers, ladies and gentlemen, and all protocols concerned. Finally, here we are. Today is a very special day for us all. It is the dawn of a new era for the special relationship nations over decades between the Organization of African, Caribbean, and Pacific States, the OCS, and the European Union, the EU. Allow me on the onset to take this opportunity to thank the Committee of Ambassadors and the Council of Ministers for their dedication and commitment to the negotiations process that lasted 5 years. The many hours of meetings have truly resulted in an agreement that will be a lifeline for development for all our neighbors. I also wish to express deep gratitude to the chief negotiators for their patience. The OECD's negotiator, Professor Robert Wilson, of the Republic of Togo, the European Commissioner, Julia Hochlein, for the tireless work that ensured that negotiations were really dedicated to our countries and to end. May I also thank our GPA co-presidents, Honorable Carlos Rodriguez and Honorable Anna Sitolo, for their constant support to the period that we endured, awaiting the moments that the EU conclude its internal process. Our journey to this end has been marked with moments of challenges, but also great. I wish to thank the European Union for coming to the decision to settle the issue, causing the delays of time. This shows your determination to our cooperation and your ambition to strengthen partnerships and alliances with your friends. The Samoa Agreement is an historic accord. It is not merely a document. It is a pledge to foster cooperation, understanding, and sustainability and resilience between the OCS and the EU entities. At the heart of our commitment lies the belief that true progress can only be achieved through collaborative and collective effort. The signing of the Samoa Agreement presents an opportunity to revigorate the long-standing OECD-EU partnership. This new agreement envisages the goal of developing a political partnership with heightened focus on implementation of both the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development and the Paris Agreement on climate change being at its core. Ever since the Lomé Convention was signed in 1975, the OECDs and the EU have demonstrated their collective ability to recalibrate their sui-generis partnership, to adopt and adapt to new and emerging global atmospheres and challenges. The OECS remains fully committed to leveraging and 3/8 of the 39 small island developing states are OACPS members, compels us to work even more tirelessly on behalf of the poorest, the smallest, and the most vulnerable economies. Please be assured the OACPS Secretariat stands committed to supporting its members to ensure the effective implementation of the Samoa Agreement. The OACPS Secretariat, in collaboration with the EU counterparts, will help to diligently work to ensure that the necessary frameworks and mechanisms are established without delay. Moreover, the Samoa Agreement underscores the importance of sustainable development. It also embraces our commitment to promoting environmentally responsible and sustainable practices, ensuring sustainable use and conservation of natural resources, and addressing the ongoing challenges posed by climate change. We must, therefore, expeditiously and assiduously implement the Samoa Agreement. All efforts and initiatives should be invested in operationalizing the overarching provisions aimed at addressing the acute vulnerabilities of our population. I am of firm view and belief that through embracing shared goals, principles of mutual respect and responsibility, and collaboration and cooperation, we can build a future where the Samoa Agreement becomes the catalyst for positive change, progress, and prosperity for all peoples and places in and across the OACPS and the EU and the world at large. As I conclude, may I congratulate all countries that have come to Samoa to sign this important agreement, for which we have so much work done. The Samoa Agreement is now a reality. I thank the government of the independent state of Samoa for this signing ceremony of our agreement that we can truly use to accelerate the development ambition of our country. I thank you, Your Excellency.
Thank you, Secretary General. Ladies and gentlemen, let's have another round of applause for our distinguished speakers. I have consistently highlighted the essence and critical importance of this partnership agreement signed in Samoa. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, we will now proceed to invite to the stage the signatures of the partnership agreement between the European Union and its member states and the members of the Organization of African, Caribbean, and Pacific States in alphabetical order. But before I do that, please allow me to introduce the two choirs who are seated on the grandstand facing us. And the first choir is from the Marua Theological College, and it's led by Reverend Tiffany. The second choir is from the Ilula Theological College, that is led by Reverend Dr. Stephen Thomas. He will be providing a rich array of music through hymn and song. in celebration of this long-awaited event. I now invite the Republic of Angola. Your Honor, to the two items. The Kingdom of Denmark. The Republic of Djibouti. The Dominican Republic. Republic of the Gambia. Federal Republic of Germany. The Republic of Ghana. The Republic of Guinea. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, congratulate the signatories of the Samoa Agreement so far. And before we continue with the signing event, we will, as the Samoans say, we have a right for it. We will change course and hear from 3 speakers from Africa, Caribbean, and Pacific. The partnership agreement signed today includes a common foundation which applies to all parties, combined with 3 regional protocols for Africa, the Caribbean, and the Pacific, with a focus on the region's specific needs. It is my honor to invite distinguished speakers from the 3 regions. And first, please welcome to the podium His Excellency Mr. Antonio Tete, the Minister of External Affairs Relations of the Republic of Angola, representing the Africa region.
Excelência, Honorável Veterano Naomi Mataafa, Primeira-Ministra do Estado Independente de Samoa e Ministra dos Estrangeiros, Excelências Co-Presidentes do Conselho de Ministros da OSCP e UE, Excelências Honoráveis Ministros da OSCP, distintos ministros da União Europeia, os seus representantes, Excelência Secretária-Geral, minhas senhoras e meus senhores, todos os protocolos observados. Para começar, permita-me expressar a minha gratidão por esta oportunidade de discursar nesta reunião histórica em nome da região da África. Excelências, vivemos num mundo multipolar e interligado, que está atualmente a testemunhar mudanças e realinhamentos geopolíticos fundamentais, com implicações para todas as regiões da OSCE. A liderança política a nível continental da OSCE pode encarar positivamente desafios e oportunidades atuais e emergentes enfrentados. Estou convencido de que o papel da África pode mudar dinâmicas que influenciam e impactam a política global, desenvolver capacidade nas respectivas regiões, promover a boa governação, manter relações pacíficas de vizinhança e criar resultados de desenvolvimento positivos e, o que é mais importante, ser uma voz forte e unida para o sul global. Excelências, a região africana saúda e celebra a assinatura do novo acordo, que é, de facto, uma oportunidade para verificarmos e reafirmarmos o compromisso com a ambição de desenvolvimento para o continente. A África definiu as suas prioridades estratégicas da sua futura parceria e envolvimento com parceiros-chave, quando os líderes africanos adotaram a sua agenda de desenvolvimento através da Agenda 2063, que define a África que queremos. Uma África próspera, fundada no crescimento inclusivo e no desenvolvimento sustentável, uma África de boa governação, democracia, respeito pelos direitos humanos, justiça e Estado de Direito, uma África pacífica e segura, uma África com uma identidade cultural forte, um patrimônio comum, valores e ética partilhados, uma África cujo desenvolvimento é impulsionado pelas pessoas, confiando no potencial do povo africano, especialmente das suas mulheres e jovens, e que cuida das suas crianças, e por último, mas não menos importante, a África como um ator e parceiro global forte, unido e influente. Estas prioridades delineadas na África que queremos estão claramente alinhadas com as prioridades estratégicas indicadas no Protocolo Regional de África, no Acordo de Samoa. É, portanto, nossa forte convicção que a implementação do Protocolo Africano deste acordo está a fazer avançar e acelerar a Agenda 2030. Excelências, a tarefa que temos pela frente é importante e carregada de grandes expectativas. Uma tarefa importante a cumprir para os nossos povos através deste acordo de parceria e acende a esperança de sociedades prósperas, sustentáveis, estáveis, pacíficas, equilibradas em termos de gênero e inclusivas na União Europeia e em África, num momento em que o multilateralismo, a solidariedade e o Estado de Direito estão ameaçados. Juntos podemos estar à altura desta tarefa superável muito e muito mais. A cerimônia de assinatura de hoje marca o início de uma jornada que deverá traçar o nosso futuro juntos como uma aliança de solidariedade e unidade para as nossas nações. A região de África procurará avançar com as modalidades de implementação do novo acordo. Assim sendo, há necessidade de estabelecer as estruturas de governação descritas no protocolo regional, apoiadas por um secretariado forte com um grupo dedicado de peritos. Excelências, senhores e senhoras, meus senhores, o caminho que estamos a trilhar requer visão, coragem, vontade política inabalável. Neste mundo em constante mudança, devemos sustentar a nossa fé uns com os outros e manter e consolidar o nosso laço de unidade e solidariedade. Nunca esqueçamos que carregamos uma responsabilidade para com as gerações que vieram antes de nós, cuja alicerce nos esforçamos agora por consolidar e com que virão depois de nós. Devemos, portanto, não só manter a dinâmica, mas também levá-la a um nível mais elevado. Com a assinatura do novo acordo de parceria OSCE-União Europeia, estamos otimistas de que um novo amanhecer está a nascer, que todos nos inspiremos para enfrentar o futuro com renovado vigor, lealidade, dedicação à nossa parceria. É também o lugar de, mais uma vez, render uma homenagem particular ao governo e ao povo de Samoa por acolhermos. Também um lugar para nós reconhecermos, mais uma vez, aqueles governos e povos que nos acolheram antes, no Togo, país do nosso querido negociador-chefe para a OSCE, que saudamos junto com a comissária de luta, e com onde assinamos, portanto, o acordo também, no Benin, com o acordo de Cotonou, e nos Camarões, com o acordo de Yaoundé. Com essas poucas observações, agradeço a vossa atenção. Obrigado.
Thank you, Minister. Representing the Caribbean region, I have the honor to invite to the podium His Excellency Mr. Cabral, Mr. Contreras, Minister of Economy, Planning and Development of the Dominican Republic.
afternoon. I'm going to address the floor in Spanish. Honorable Tiani Mahmoud Mustafa, primera ministra del Estado Independiente de Samoa. Honorable presidente del Consejo Conjunto de Ministros, ACP-UE. Honorables ministros y jefes de las delegaciones de los países de la OEACP. Honorables ministros y jefes de delegaciones de los países de la Unión Europea. Distinguida Jutta Urpilainen, comisaria de la Unión Europea para Asociaciones Internacionales y demás integrantes de la delegación de la Unión Europea. Giorgio Valero Scotti, secretario general de la OEACP. Invitados especiales, amigos todos. Es para mí y para la delegación de la República Dominicana un gran placer estar aquí en Samoa, disfrutando de la hospitalidad del gobierno y del pueblo samoano y de las bellezas de este país. Gracias, Samoa, por recibirnos con la alegría que les caracteriza. Para nuestro país es también un gran privilegio dirigirnos a ustedes en representación de nuestra región del Caribe, en esta especial ocasión en la que completamos la firma del Acuerdo de San Juan. Nuestra región reafirma su compromiso de trabajar junto a la Unión Europea en la promoción de los principios e intereses que nos unen. Nos comprometemos especialmente en trabajar junto a la Unión Europea en la implementación efectiva del acuerdo y en especial del protocolo regional caribeño para lograr resultados tangibles que faciliten el desarrollo inclusivo, sostenible y resiliente de nuestros pueblos. Esperamos que la implementación de este protocolo refuerce y expanda la relación especial y privilegiada que por casi 50 años nuestra región ha tenido con la Unión Europea, sin desmedro del esfuerzo que se ha venido impulsando con América Latina y el Caribe en el marco de la CELAC. Apreciados amigos, el nuevo acuerdo implica un cambio sustancial en las formas de relacionamiento entre las partes, lo que representa un reto para la implementación eficiente del protocolo regional y del aprovechamiento efectivo de los nuevos mecanismos como el Global Gateway. En el caso de la región del Caribe es indispensable que el Directorado de CARIFORO juegue un papel clave como ente de coordinación regional para garantizar una efectiva participación de todos los países de la región en las nuevas instituciones conjuntas previstas en el acuerdo. Por ello, es necesario que la Unión Europea mantenga el apoyo para la colaboración con los países de la región en el fortalecimiento de sus capacidades técnicas y financieras. De igual manera, este apoyo deberá contribuir a fortalecer al Directorado en su rol de implementación del EPA, la gestión de la cooperación regional al desarrollo y para la coordinación de iniciativas conjuntas en los territorios europeos de ultramar en el Caribe, para expandir el potencial de la cooperación regional. Por otro lado, es de alto interés para nuestra región que la Unión Europea refuerce su involucramiento en los foros multilaterales en los temas críticos para los pequeños estados insulares en desarrollo como los del Caribe, tales como el cambio climático, el desarrollo sostenible, los derechos humanos, el mantenimiento de la paz y la seguridad, la gestión de riesgos de desastres, la transición energética, la gobernanza de los océanos y el desarrollo humano y social. Saludamos la designación de un enviado especial para los pequeños estados insulares en desarrollo. Esperamos una contribución importante de parte de la Unión Europea de cara a la cuarta Conferencia Internacional de los Pequeños Estados Insulares en Desarrollo en Antigua y Barbuda en mayo del año próximo y el apoyo al programa de acción que se defina para los próximos 10 años. No podemos terminar esta intervención sin mencionar la atención especial que necesita Haití, no solo como el único país menos avanzado de la región, sino por la crítica situación política, económica, social y de seguridad por la cual está atravesando en este momento. Los países de la Unión Europea y de la OEACP debemos redoblar esfuerzos para apoyar a Haití para alcanzar la paz, devolver la seguridad a su gente y lograr los objetivos de desarrollo inclusivo y sostenibles previstos en el protocolo regional. Por último, queremos reconocer el trabajo realizado por el equipo de negociación de los países ACP, que, junto a sus contrapartes de la Unión Europea, lograron materializar este acuerdo. Hoy iniciamos con optimismo una nueva etapa en las relaciones ACP-Unión Europea, con la firme convicción de que será en beneficio de todos nuestros pueblos. Muchas gracias.
I am pleased to now invite Honorable Jeff Amon, Minister of Fisheries and Marine Resources of the independent state of Papua New Guinea, representing the Pacific region.
To the Honorable Prime Minister of Samoa, the Honorable Fiona Naomi Azab, EU Co-Chair of the Joint OACP-EU Council of Ministers, the OACPS Co-Chair of the Joint OACPS-EU Council of Ministers, the European Commission of International Partnerships, Jutta Orpilla, Honorable Ministers, heads of delegations from the EU member states and OACPS member states, OACP Secretary General, Mr. George Robelo Pino Chikoti, observers, and most importantly, ladies and gentlemen. It has been the greatest honor to speak on behalf of the Pacific region on this very momentous occasion, marking an historic moment for the OACPS and the EU. The opening of signature today of the OACPS-EU Partnership Agreement that we all refer to as the Samoa Agreement signifies the beginning of a new era in OACPS-EU relations. It also serves as a testament to our long-standing, enduring partnership that has spanned almost half a century. A partnership that brings two significant groupings of countries together. The Blue Pacific region is proud and honored to host the signing of the new partnership agreement. In this respect, we as a Pacific family convey our appreciation and applaud the government and the people of Samoa for its leadership and the impeccable arrangements made for the signing ceremony and related events. We recognize that to complete the legal process, each country will need to process its respective national requirements to have the Samoa Agreement signed and ratified. Commitment to this is incumbent on each and every one of us as we embrace our joint commitments under the Samoa Agreement. The Pacific region welcomes a renewed partnership with the EU and joint commitments under the Pacific Regional Protocol. The Pacific Regional Protocol serves to address our unique regional and specific needs, our vulnerabilities, our challenges. In this context, we are pleased that the Pacific Island Forum leaders endorsed the 2050 strategy of a Blue Pacific continent in 2022. And just last week, its implementation plan, which identifies how the region should work together to achieve its development aspirations. Therefore, this event provides the opportunity to highlight the opportunities, the interlinkages of key partnerships and modalities of development for realization of our collective ambition under the 2050 strategy. In saying this, it is crucial that the Samoa Agreement and other EU instruments, such as the Neighborhood Development and International Cooperation Instrument, aligns with the 2050 strategy and and the Pacific Regional Mechanisms. The Pacific has a unique layered regional architecture that can seem complicated to navigate. But it is critical that we can reuse existing regional mechanisms, whether that be the mechanisms to take forward our political and parliamentary engagements, or in the programming and the rollout of initiatives and investments to achieve our sustainable resilience aims and objectives. Our Pacific ACP grouping will continue to be central in our partnership and implementation of the Samoa Agreement, and the Pacific Islands Forum Secretariat will continue to act as the political lead agency for the Pacific. We recognize all the key roles of our regional stakeholders, including the crop agencies, NGOs, the private sector, and local authorities. At the OACPS level, the Pacific region welcomes a renewed commitment to OACPS EU collaboration in relevant multilateral fora. In this pursuit, we acknowledge that we need to fully implement both the UN Sustainable Development Agenda and the Paris Agreement on climate change. Ladies and gentlemen, climate change remains the single greatest existing threat to the livelihoods and the well-being of Pacific people. As a collective, we will journey to COP28 in the coming days in the hope of progressing real and tangible solutions. The Samoa Agreement, which makes up more than half of the UN membership, allows for us boundless opportunities to influence and impact global agendas of common interest and importance. It is in this regard, the Pacific region is ready to play its part and to work towards our collective endeavors. Thank you, and God bless.
Ladies and gentlemen, please provide another round of applause for the regional secretary. And we will now continue with the signing ceremony. And I wish to invite the Republic of Kenya. The Republic of Latvia. The Kingdom of Lesotho.
Amen.
Republic of the Marshall Islands. The Republic of Poland. of Spain. The Togolese Republic. The Republic of Vanuatu. The Republic of Zambia. The Republic of Zimbabwe. Ladies and gentlemen, how about a round of applause for our secretaries and our choirs? Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, we are approaching the end of our signing ceremony, and we now invite the European Union to sign the agreement represented by Her Excellency Mr. Angela Rodriguez, Secretary of State for International Cooperation of the Kingdom of Spain, President in Office of the Council of the European Union, and Her Excellency Ms. Chuta Urpilainen, EU Commissioner for International Partnership. And I now invite the Democratic Republic of Timor-Leste to the table, represented by Minister of Foreign Affairs and Cooperation of Timor-Leste, Honorable Benito dos Santos Freitas. And lastly, I invite the host country of today's momentous occasion, the independent state of Samoa, represented by the Prime Minister, Honorable Yamir Naomi Matata. The partnership agreement signed today is the new legal framework for the relations between the European Union and its member states and the members of the Organization of the African, Caribbean, and Pacific States for the next 20 years.
Up for the camera. Hey. Yes, thank you. Nice. Excellent.
The two office of the UN will now be presented. One for the European Union and one for the OACPS. And I would like to invite our last signatories to please return to your seats. We will now prepare for the photo of all the representatives that have signed the agreement. Please be upstanding while we sing the last hymn for our service.